Morning.
Morning.
Beginning of the week. Let's get it.
Busy one. Right, welcome to episode 3 of Bikefix.cc. Quick rundown, highlights of last week. We bought the van.
Not only that, we gave everyone a bit of a rundown about how we got to that point of getting a business loan, being a registered company, and a few other bits and pieces, so chatting to industry friends. But in reality, now this is where the hard work starts, and you get a bit more insight into what we're actually doing in this project rather than just buying vans and running around.
Yeah, now the real solid DIY stuff works. We need to turn the back of the van, which currently is just a shell, into a workshop and a studio.
And it needs to be bespoke and look amazing. So follow us through each of the steps to get there. And first up, we've got to get this thing insulated, taking the panels off, putting on the backing, and then getting battens on to get the wood cladding up. Let's go. First things first, we got right to it. We started emptying out and clearing out the van, ready to be able to take all the panels off. Funny enough, I managed to knock my camera over, and this took a lot longer than we thought it would. Step 1, take the wall panels off first.
So we started off by taking off the panels, unscrewing the millions of screws and pulling it away from the glue that was also holding it to the side of the van as well. This took longer than we thought it was going to take, as every single job like this does, but we got there in the end. This is me trying to take this one off. Watch for the super slick way that I'm pulling this out of here. Look, it's just so silky smooth. Said nobody ever. Okay. Step 2, hoover in the inside and recess. So it's nice and clean.
Luckily we had old Henry the Hoover on hand to get all that dust out. It was surprisingly dusty considering it was a fairly new van, but lo and behold, this is the things you find behind the panels. Step 3, isopropyl alcohol wipe down the surfaces that we're going to put our insulation on.
Yeah, I don't want to see this again.
No, neither do I. Once this is done,
when we cover it up, that's it. I don't want to. Last time I'm touching this wall.
So let's soak up a bit on there.
Yeah.
We got to work wiping down all the surfaces, making sure that everything was nice and clean, but more importantly that it dried and was a little bit kind of tacky, so that when the adhesive backing of the insulation went straight onto the panels, it stayed, it stuck, and it meant that there was no moisture or anything that could build up behind it. Now this is a crucial part, because if we get loads of pockets of moisture, then it's going to ruin our wood cladding, or it's going to start to rust the inside of the van.
Step 4, cut the insulation down to size, stick it on the wall.
So we went for this Kira Van's thermoacoustic 7 to 8mm foam, and it's already got adhesive on one side of it as well as like a foil layer on the other side, so it'll reflect the heat in, and it also helps get some acoustics, so dampen some of that sound, and a real added benefit is the fact that it's self-adhesive, so you peel off the back and it sticks straight onto the panels of the van.
So we'll cut it as a rough square.
Yeah, and then we'll have to shape it.
And then we'll have to shape it afterwards. So
I wonder if we hold it up to it.
So the biggest point is 60 centimetres.
Go to the bottom.
60 centimetres by 60.
After loads of yabbering and flapping around, we ended up just getting on with it and making the best of it. So we did our best to measure up some of the spaces, but as you can see, a lot of them are quite awkward in shape. So you had to cut a rough size and then shape it and kind of form to be able to fit into those spaces. Now, it doesn't look like it should take that long, but it's taken a lot longer than you'd expect. Arguably at this point, having a Stanley blade or a knife would have been a lot easier than the pair of scissors we had. Later on, we do learn that lesson and actually change our ways.
is one of my favourite parts of this video. Here I am, trying to fix this in, and look who's going to come and take over. Look, here he is, taking over, pushing me out the way. Top first. Knows everything. Mine out the way, Paul. Here we go. Here we've said it's a one-time go, but the reality is you get a lot more stick than you do from, say, a Lego sticker that gives you 2 goes. You can see us sticking it on, pulling it off, sticking it on, pulling it off, sticking it on, pulling it off.
Panel 1 done. Now, only another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38 more panels to go, guys! But just then, as in true fashion of British wintertime, the rain came in. Storm and rain started to come in, so it limited us, because what it meant was all the panels started to build up moisture, which meant the adhesive didn't stick. And so we had to wipe them down and try and get them as clean or as warm as possible to get the last bits on as best as we could. But unfortunately, it meant that we had to call it a day for today. We did a good job, but more needed to get done. One of the issues we've run into is on the ceiling. In the lovely weather in January in the UK, it gets very cold and the moisture builds up, and if it's not completely flush, we're getting pull-ups on the edges of them. So what we've done is we've cut them back and filled them in with another square, like you can see over here. And so that helps with still being able to get the moisture, and then we're going to put another layer of similar to like loft insulation in there to be able to give us a nice warm soundproof studio and workshop.
So we had to order a bit more insulation to just finish the last bit. We kind of undermeasured it a little bit, but that's all right. We were pretty good by the end of it. The last few panels went on nicer than the first few panels, so we did learn. We had got to a pretty pro stage at this point. Then we had some more materials arrive, so we got the battens and the wood cladding for later on for next week, but the goal was to get everything done in terms of insulation wise done this week, which, as you can see, we managed to do, and it's looking pretty good. Woo!
What a week.
What a week, end of the week.
What a week.
Managed to get all this done. Managed to get all of the insulation, self-adhesive stuff all sorted. There was a few little issues.
I wish I was like a foot taller, and then when it comes to the ceiling, I could push it in a little bit harder.
Yeah, because there was some grooves, and Paul, how tall are you?
Not tall enough, foot too short.
Not
That's
tall enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, just needed to push them into the grooves. I mean, if anyone wants to find out, they can check the height of an L2 Sprinter, and you can check Paul's height. But the reality is, yeah, as soon as there was a bit of an edge off, or there was some sort of weird contoured shape of the van, it wasn't as happy sitting down.
Yeah.
And
weather's not helped us.
nah, really hasn't helped us. It's been rainy, cold, blustery.
Yeah.
We've had a couple of days of good sun.
Yeah, but it starts off so frosty. So when you get in the van in the morning, it's always...
moist. But
Moist,
no,
yeah.
since we've had the insulation on,
no, absolutely.
it's really good. The insulation has made a big difference. You can actually feel the temperature. I don't know if that's psychological or not, but I feel like you can actually notice the difference. And we've got now our foam, the foam soft, it's not foam, it's kind of loft insulation style stuff that we've got out the back, which needs to get fit. But we won't be doing that until we get the battens on, which are over here. So we need to screw these battens into the struts on the walls, and then we can put the cladding on. But before that, what's next?
Electrics. Electrics is next. We need to wire in the battery, the inverter, the plug sockets, the lights, everything. So that's the next bit.
And the awkward thing is the battery that we had, the starter battery for Mercedes Sprinter lives in the cab, underneath the front seats basically. And so trying to find a cable to go from there round to the back behind our bulkhead is our first challenge. But we should get a bit more, and then we can start getting the cladding up. Cladding's arrived, lots of parts have arrived. We're still good friends.
We're still good friends.
We're still good friends. Things haven't gone south.
We're still good friends. It's all right. We survived insulation.
Yeah, and that's a big stage.
Insulation.
So we've done a lot in terms of getting to this point, but there's a lot more to go. There's a lot more to go. But stay tuned for the next episode. We would love for you to like and subscribe and follow us on our social pages. It's only going to get better and bigger from here on out, and hopefully this actually starts to look like a workshop.
Yeah, instead of what I wrapped my Christmas turkey in.
Or the joke we had was this Apollo1 mission with all the foil.
Yeah.
So let's see if we get out of Apollo 1 mission stage.
Make it